Welcome to the Honorable Ministers of the Council, members of the media, radio listeners via St. Martin Gov Radio 107.9 FM, respective radio stations island-wide, Tel TV Plus Channel 15, and online viewers. I'm Rolika Roach, and welcome to the live Council of Ministers press briefing for today, Wednesday, May 20th, 2026. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, Melissa Gumbs, to address you. Minister Gumbs, you have the floor. I would also like to note that Minister Gumbs will be leaving right after press briefing as she does have prior engagements to attend to. Minister Gumbs, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good morning, members of the media, and good morning to the people of St. Martin. Today, I wish to provide the public with further clarity on the adjustment being made to this year's official Flag Day observance. As Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, I remain fully committed to ensuring that our national symbols, our history, and our sense of identity continue to be honored with the dignity they deserve. At the same time, I have a responsibility to be honest with the people of St. Martin about the financial realities currently facing the ministry and, in truth, the country. The Ministry of ECYS, like most, is operating in a severely constrained financial environment. That isn't an excuse. It is simply our current reality. For full transparency, last year's St. Martin Day celebrations cost the Department of Culture approximately 105,000 guilders, and it is only today that payments to those locally owned businesses are being executed. Because a budget can say one number and cash flow says another, and that is our reality. As many may know, this ministry is not an income-generating ministry. Additionally, a significant portion of our budget is legally and structurally committed to education, including the subsidies required to support the operation of schools. This means that the discretionary space available for national events, incidental subsidies, and other important initiatives has become increasingly limited. In light of these realities, the ministry has had to make difficult but necessary adjustments. These decisions, however, are not taken lightly. They are made with the understanding that every guilder spent must be carefully considered, and that the ministry must find more creative and cost-conscious ways to meet its responsibilities. For Flag Day 2026, this means that instead of hosting the traditional full public program, the ministry will be pivoting to a more digital, symbolic, and community-centered celebration. The formal program will include contributions from school children, including messages from students who would ordinarily have participated in the Flag Day parade, a symbolic flag hoisting component, a short media feature on the history and significance of Flag Day, and recorded messages from national officials. I myself will also be present at the schools that were scheduled to participate in the parade to observe and celebrate the day with our students. But let me be very clear. Scaling back the official government program does not mean scaling back our national pride. Flag Day, and indeed every national day, belongs to the people of St. Martin. It belongs in our schools, in our homes, in our communities, on our cars, in our businesses, on our boats, and in the conversations we have with our children about who we are, where we come from, and what it means to help build this country. This decision to scale back the official portion of the national observance is not unusual, nor is it unique to St. Martin, particularly in these very challenging global economic times. For example, in 2022, the government of Tanzania canceled its official Independence Day celebrations due to budget challenges for other critical projects, choosing to divert those funds to youth-related initiatives. That decision did not stop the people of Tanzania from marking and celebrating their Independence Day. Last year, the government of Trinidad and Tobago canceled their official Independence Day celebrations due to budget concerns. And while that news frustrated the population, it did not stop the people of Trinidad and Tobago from celebrating their Independence Day. In March of this year, the government of Pakistan canceled its National Day military parade to save costs as the Iran-US conflict continues to impact the price of fuel and other items. It didn't stop the people from marking and observing the day. The principle is simple. National pride does not disappear because government makes a fiscally responsible decision to reduce the cost of an official ceremony. And while I cannot officially speak on behalf of the people of Aruba, I'm relatively certain, based on how they celebrate their national days here on St. Martin, that if the day should ever come where the government of Aruba cannot financially sustain the official part of observing Dia de Bandera y Himno, you can rest assured that it will not stop the people of Aruba from celebrating their Flag Day. And why? Because culture and the activities that celebrate and reflect it rely on the participation of the people, not only the government, whether represented by this ministry or any other. Pride in our national symbols, whether an event, a person, or a flag, is not built in a government office. It is built in our homes, in the conversations we choose to have with our families about our country, in the flag we put on our car or hang outside our home or business, in the posters on our children's bedroom walls, in the books on our bookshelves, in the songs we play on the radio or on a stage or truck throughout the year. It is also built in the way we teach our children. Flag Day should be more than a government ceremony. It should be an opportunity for parents, teachers, schools, and communities to speak with our children about the meaning of the flag, the sacrifices and aspirations it represents, and the responsibility we all share in nation building. Because nation building is not the responsibility of government alone. It is the responsibility of every resident who calls this country home and benefits from the opportunities, freedoms, and identity that St. Martin provides. It is built through the events and people that we choose to show up and show out for. For example, there were more people on the strip for ice show speed than there were on the side of the road to welcome home our Carifta athletes. But I'm afraid that's a mirror that those people will have to look into on their own. Let me be clear, I do not make this reference to shame anyone, but to remind us that we do have the ability to show up in large numbers when something captures our attention. My encouragement today is simple. Let St. Martin capture that same attention. Let our flag capture that same energy. As for the comments on how others can come here and make big noise for their flag days, I agree. But the governments of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Guyana, and Dominica, Aruba, etc., aren't the ones planning these Flag Day celebrations in St. Martin. The persons who find their roots and bloodlines from those countries come together, buy their flags, request their permits, plan their logistics, and make it a point, year after year, to mark their Flag Day. Because they know what we cannot seem to comprehend. Culture is not something driven only by government. And while that may sound harsh, I say it less as criticism and more as a wake-up call to action, and as an example. It shows what happens when people take ownership of their culture and make a conscious decision to celebrate who they are. That is the spirit I want to encourage among us as St. Martiners and as residents of this country. As a Member of Parliament, I attended every single Flag Day, St. Martin Day, and Constitution Day celebration planned by the previous government. For Flag Day, I observed the cost of planning and execution, from the truck rental, to DJs, to bands, to steel pan, to snacks, to logistics. And who was present, waving their flags? School children from the districts elected that year, sometimes their parents, myself and maybe 2 other MPs, the former minister of ECYS, and 1 or 2 other ministers. There were rarely flags hung outside homes, businesses, on cars, or other non-government buildings. So while I understand the emotions around this decision to scale back, I also believe this moment gives us an opportunity to shift the way we observe Flag Day. It gives us an opportunity to move from depending mainly on an official program to creating a wider culture of national pride and participation. This is not about doing less for Flag Day. It is about inviting more people to do something meaningful for Flag Day. We can and must do better as regular citizens. So with this in mind, I would like to take this opportunity to invite the public to participate in a visible way by proudly displaying the St. Martin flag at their homes, on their vehicles, their boats, their businesses, wherever appropriate. If 10,000 people could have found $30 for a cowboy outfit on Amazon for Bacchanal Sunday, we could find $10 for a St. Martin flag, a rag, and a mug at Arnia Bookstore. I'm calling on schools to speak with students about the meaning of the flag. I'm calling on parents and guardians to speak with children at home about what it means to love and build a country. I'm calling on businesses to decorate their storefronts. I'm calling on drivers to place a flag on their vehicles. I'm calling on residents to wear the colors, fly the flag, take photos, share stories, and make the day visible. Show up and show off for your country. Not because government planned a large ceremony, but because St. Martin is ours to honor. All of this to say, while the format may be different this year, the meaning remains the same. Our decision to scale back the official ceremony reflects the approach I believe is necessary in this moment, to be transparent about the challenges we face, responsible in how we spend public funds, and creative in ensuring that our national observances continue in a meaningful way. Flag Day is not only about ceremony, it is about pride, identity, unity, participation, and respect for the symbol that represents who we are as a people. Yes, the ministry is scaling back the official celebration this year, but I'm also inviting the people of St. Martin to scale up their own participation. Let us make Flag Day visible, let us make it educational, let us make it meaningful, and let us make it ours. The ministry will continue to do its best to meet its commitments, even under difficult circumstances. We will do so honestly, carefully, and with the people of St. Martin at the center of every decision. Thank you.